Hey, what's up everybody? I am Nick, and today I got a little bit of an interesting video. It's a little bit different than the normal videos I post. It's not strictly Halloween, not strictly Big 3. Today is actually my birthday. Yay! And what I'm going to do is I am going to go through each year since I was born and give you guys my favorite horror movie of that year. And as you might be able to tell from looking at me, I'm old as shit. So that's going to be a lot of fucking movies. So which movies make the list? Let me stick around and find out. So, like I said, I am going to go through each year since I was born and give you guys my favorite horror movie. A couple of things though. So, number one, I kinda stole this idea. Um, Cody Leach, who is a huge YouTuber, I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He's awesome. He actually did this on his birthday, I think, last year or something like that. But he didn't do horror movies. He did just his favorite movies each year. What I'm going to do is I'm going to strictly focus on horror movies. And I'm going to start from 1982 all the way through this year of 2020. And if you can do the math, like I said, you can figure out that I am all of a sudden pretty damn old. So I'm not going to get into too many details on the movies. I might say a word or two on the movies, but I don't really have time to be, giving you guys a synopsis of each of these movies. So if I name a movie you haven't heard, feel free to go check it out. I think all the movies on here are worth seeing. Some years were obviously stronger than others, especially when you get into the 80s and then probably the late 90s. I had to leave some movies out that I can't believe aren't on my list, but the movie I had to choose was so strong that I had to leave some off. And you'll see what I mean here as I'm going to begin here. So let's start with 1982, the year Nick Push arrived to the world. Holy fuck. What a tough year for horror movies to choose your favorite. My favorite from this year was The Thing, which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. One of the best horror movies of all time. It's unfortunate that I had to leave off Friday the 13th Part 3, Halloween 3, and Poltergeist. Those three movies, I love those three movies, but they don't touch The Thing. So 82 is The Thing. Next year is going to be 1983, and my favorite movie from that year is Sleepaway Camp. Obviously a great twist ending, so if you haven't seen this, go check it out. 1984. This was a toss-up between two movies for me. I chose Friday the 13th, the final chapter, just barely over the OG, A Nightmare on Elm Street. And I'm just a little bit more of a Friday the 13th fan than I am a Nightmare fan, but I do love the series A Nightmare on Elm Street. So Friday the 13th, the final chapter, wins 1984. 1985, we got a little bit of a horror comedy here, and it is going to be Fright Night. Great horror comedy, just a classic, so go check that out if you haven't seen it. 1986, you guys might be surprised by this. There's going to be a few on here that you're going to be like, really? But just remember, it's my list. It's movies that I've seen. Contrary to popular belief, I haven't seen every goddamn horror movie that has come out. But 1986 is going to be Poltergeist Part 2. I'm actually a big fan of this movie. It's clearly not even close to as good as the first one, but I like the villain Kane. I find him creepy as hell. So Poltergeist 2 wins 1986. 1987, another toss-up between two movies, and I went The Lost Boys, just barely over Dream Warriors. Sorry, Dream Warriors, I love you, but The Lost Boys is my favorite vampire flick of all time, so I love that movie. So that wins 1987. 88, another ridiculously hard year. I chose Halloween 4. I don't have to get into why I love Halloween 4. You guys You guys have heard my thoughts on that, and you're going to hear even more thoughts on that because I'm doing a watch along this Tuesday night with live commentary. So be sure to check that out. But Halloween 4 just barely beats out They Live, another movie I love, and then the original Child's Play. 1989, Halloween 5. I'm kidding. I'm making sure you guys are fucking paying attention. It's not Halloween 5. It's the original Pet Sematary. Just a great adaptation of a Stephen King book. 1990 is Child's Play Part 2. I love Child's Play, and I love Child's Play 2. Child's Play 2 actually has one of my favorite third acts in horror history, believe it or not. When they go to the factory, the Good Guys doll factory, just some great scares. I love that end of that movie. 1991, going a little bit more psychological here with Silence of the Lambs. I mean, if you haven't seen Silence of the Lambs, go check it out. It's a classic, obviously. 1992 is going to be Candyman. Great. I don't like any of the sequels, but the original Candyman, it's a great movie, and we'll see what they do with the new one coming out. 1993, another surprise. It's debatable whether you could call this horror. I think it falls into the horror category. So it's going to be California with a K. It's a movie with David Duchovny and Brad Pitt. Pretty cool movie where David Duchovny is writing about serial killers, and Brad Pitt is hitching along with him. Juliette Lewis is in this too, but Brad Pitt's actually a serial killer himself, unbeknownst to David Duchovny. So pretty cool. 1994 is going to be Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Awesome movie. Genius for its time. So yeah, 94, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. 95, just to show you how weak this year was, right before horror got its renaissance, I'm choosing Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Yes, that's my favorite movie actually from that year. 96, no surprise, Scream. Now we're getting back into some really good years with horror before it drops off again. 97, I Know What You Did Last Summer, just barely beats Scream 2. I love the concept of the movie, and I love everything about that movie. 98 is another tough year. I chose The Faculty. I love this fucking movie. It's got an awesome cast. If you haven't seen The Faculty, go check it out. 1999, another psychological little bit. It's Stir of Echoes. Great movie. I am a big fan of this movie. It stars Kevin Bacon. 2000, another movie I love, American Psycho. Hard to believe this is 20 years old, but Christian Bale puts on an amazing performance. Fantastic movie. 2001, we're moving right along here. 2001 is going to be 13 Ghosts. I saw this movie in the theaters a shit ton of times. It was the year I graduated high school, and me and my friends, we just couldn't get enough of it. So it's a cool movie. Stars, what's his name, Monk, and Matthew Lillard. So a good movie. 2002 is gonna be Red Dragon, another Hannibal Lecter movie. I'm a big fan of this movie because I love Ed Norton. He's one of my favorite actors. 2003 is gonna be Wrong Turn. 2 words. Eliza Dushku. Oh yeah. 2004, the original Saw, obviously a classic. 2005, a movie that I think is actually a little underrated, and that's going to be House of Wax. Yes, the Paris Hilton one. I actually enjoyed this movie, thought it was creepy. 2006 is going to be Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Cool movie. I'm not scared by it or anything, but just a cool movie. 2007, Trick or Treat, or Trick or Treat, I should say. Awesome movie. It's got some of the best Halloween seasonal atmosphere you'll ever find. 2008 is going to be The Strangers. Awesome movie. Very creepy. 2009 is going to be The Collector. This is a cool movie if you haven't seen it. It's kind of torture pornish, but it's like, I heard someone describe it the other day. I can't remember who said it, but it's kind of like Home Alone meets Saw. So a pretty cool movie. 2010 is going to be Insidious. It's a fucking great movie. 2011 is Scream 4. Yeah, yes, love Scream 4. It switches between Scream 2 and Scream 4 as my favorites in the franchise. We'll see what Scream 5 brings. 2012 is going to be Sinister. Very sinister movie. No, it's a good movie, creepy. 2013 is going to be The Conjuring. Another one of these newer classics all of a sudden. 2014, It Follows. Now I'm not really going to have much to say about these movies because I've only seen them like probably once. But It Follows, 2014. 2015 is going to be The Witch. 2016 is going to be Hush. Mike Flanagan, great movie. Mike Flanagan said this was his love letter to Halloween. So go check this out. 2017 is going to be It Chapter 1, my favorite of the two chapters. 2018, no surprise, Halloween 2018. I know it's weird because you guys hear me talk shit about this movie, but I actually do enjoy this movie. 2019 is going to be the sequel of From The Shining, Doctor Sleep. Great movie, great movie. It's relatively new. You guys, I'm sure you've heard of it. And so if you haven't seen it, check it out. And then for 2020, I mean, besides this whole goddamn year, right? 2020 is going to be Host. I love this fucking movie. I mean, it's short. It's scary as shit. Not a lot of movies scare me these days, but Host had me jumping out of my seat, which is very hard to do. So you got to give it credit. All right, so those are the movies from every year I've been born. If you guys want to comment some of the ones that you can't believe I left off, or some of the ones where, maybe I jogged your memory and you're like, oh yeah, that movie, let me know. Other than that, I appreciate, as always, you guys watching. I'm going to keep churning out these videos this month. So we still got almost 2 weeks left. So thanks, like I said, thanks for watching. See you later.